So let's do one thing. Okay, before going ahead, see, a quick recap. Okay, we discussed about the multiple things. We discussed about how we can create a data model, how we can create the entity relationship, how we can create the schemas, databases, how we touched based on the SQL queries, SQL basic joins, then the how we can create the tables and those stuff. And also we have touched upon all the functionality, right, of the Power BI, how we can transform the data, how we can get those data. If you see in the right corner, calendar, customers, these are all table that I have already given to the data to you guys in the forum. Please load that data. We how from get data, how we can load those data from Excel, from Power BI, from database we talked about, right? We how we can connect to the web UI, or we can directly go to the blank query and create our own table, right? And then we have gone through the Power Query, that we can transform the data, how we can calculate it, how we can profile the data, even though we talked about, right? After that, we jumped on to the SQL basics, that what are the joins, what are the full join, what are the inner join, left outer join, right outer join, and those stuff, right? And later on, we learned about the what are the syntaxes, and what are the how we can enable those understanding to develop this data model. All right. So before I go ahead, any questions from the back, uh, you know, from the back classes? Any question do you want to ask? I'll be very much welcome. Questions are very much welcome for you guys. You can ask me, or you can post it in the chat. Because before we go ahead, I want at least we can start from here, because we are having a handy. Now we are doing the hands-on, because because this is what you're gonna do it in future. If you are a DA, data analytics, this is what you're gonna do it in the upcoming, once you get a job in data analytics, any of the company, you're gonna do this kind of, how we can map those joins, how I can create the data model. This is the data model view, left hand side. If you see, this is my all table view, right? These are my all table views, and this is my report. I have created a few simple report for you guys. Same way we can add multiple reports, and we can create this as this is all my complete dashboard I have created. I'll show you how we can create it. But before that, I need to show you a two thing. All right. First thing, I have you know downloaded the MySQL workbench. Did you guys tried? Do you know how to get those MySQL in your system? Anyone has that understanding? Yes or
You
no?
can show me one more because I have to skip last time class.
For the SQL, I believe SQL
Yeah.
workbench.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure. See, for the SQL workbench, I'm gonna show you how we can go it. There are three steps. For the SQL workbench, there is already the video. I'm gonna post it. I believe there will be a video. Uh, MySQL workbench download. You can first thing you to do, go to the Google, go ahead, workbench download, and click on the first link. Okay, it has almost 300. If you see this workbench, this is the version 8 point latest version. I'm talking 8.0.34. Okay, go ahead and get the download. That is the Windows download, right? Or else, if you do not know directly, you can download. Just write it MySQL. Go to the MySQL. Go to the downloads. Just come down and check the community. See, GPL, that is a community. That means it's a free version, and you can see MS SQL installer for Windows. Here you can see, no need to download for this. Just go for this first one, 2.4. It is a 2.4 MB. And straight forward, the steps that you need to, once you download, there will be a exe file which will be coming through to it your like this. See, 2.5 MB. Because I have already downloaded, guys, so I cannot show you again because it will give me an error. So it is very simple. Go to the once you click on this application, application, it will go next, next, next. Only one thing that you might find a difficulty, that is the username and password. While after the installation, because just a next, 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 there are three steps. After the once you done or downloaded, sorry, installed in your PC, they will ask you what type of user ID you would need to log into this workbench. This is a workbench. So there will be a always be a, let me open the notepad. Sorry. So after there will be a neck, when you put it the three steps, you need to get the three things. What are the three things from the uh, uh, install it, when you do the installation? First would be application, because you have to go not to go for with full version. When you go ahead, there will be your option. You need to go with the custom version. I'm writing it for you guys. Please note it, custom version. Okay. After the custom version you put it, there will be a next step. What would be the next step? When you press on the next, there will be a what type of version you want now, because you are putting the custom application you want to install with the custom application. So they will ask you what kind of custom application, what are the things you require. So there will be a first will be application. You need to select, there will be a select in the left corner. Here left corner, when you select on the checkbox on the application, go ahead with the 8.0.34 version. Select only this one. I'll come back to you, Arav. Just give me 2 seconds. Let me explain.
No, no. Actually, all I want to say is,
Yeah.
if you are a part of QA batch, the in class the classwork they have provided, there
Okay.
is an entire video and the process of how to install MySQL into it with step by step
Oh,
video
okay.
representation. So if you have questions, you can also, if you just simply follow the process, it will
Yes,
be easy
yes.
to install.
Right. That's what I just wanted to give you an update for you, these guys also. Even though we have a correct Arav, we have a complete video. I'll gonna post that video. I believe someone can get those videos and paste it in this chat, so they can go ahead and check it if possible. Or else I'm already, if they find any difficulty, these are the steps. Even though those who already gone through, it's good to know it, but those who are not gone through, I'll just want to give a little recap for a 2 minutes, right? So once you do next step, there will be application, and then after the application, yes, there is a complete video which is stay give you the complete step by step understanding. But even though there are few issues where you need to check on. Someone want to say something, I believe.
What's class 3?
Amarjot, Amarjot, I believe you're on not on mute. Yeah. All right. So once you click on this next step, there will be ask you what are the application you would need. There will be a first application, you need to checkbox this application. Second would be there will be a workbench. Again in workbench there will be a 8.0.34, and again there will be a third, that is the PowerShell. Right here also you need to select the latest version. There will be a drop down, guys. There is video already present in the forum. You can check it, or even though if you ask me after this class, I'll gonna put it for you guys for a video, those who are not done it, but this is where the steps are. Once you select there, next there will be automatically by default folder. It will be gonna stored it in your C, will be on program files. That is the path. That is the default. No need to change it, right? Only after the completion, only one step you might get difficulty with the configuration of user ID. So user ID for this is, that is by default would be root, and password would be yours. You can put whatever the password, that would be alphanumeric. Put it alphanumeric, best way to remember, or a strongest password. Put it alphanumeric password as per your as per your convenient, and you are done. Once you done finish, this application will get open, right? Once this application get open, it will, I'll gonna close this for you guys. I'll gonna reload it again. Once you finish it, what you need to do it, just type the workbench, that is 8.0. Will take a little time, I believe. Yep. So this is the page, you're gonna see it. And here there will be a left corner. You'll see that, okay, I have whatever the root MySQLity, that is by default. When you start this started with the installation process, it will give you the MySQLity. What is the user ID? As I already mentioned in the notepad, right? Root and password, right? Once you select here, it will ask you the password only once, only one time, and you just have to save that password. If you provide that password, automatically your SQL editor will open in your case. Here you can do whatever that we discussed last time, right? You can create a table, you can drop a table, you can do whatever the DML statements, how we can create a table that we last time we discussed, how we can create a database, right? How we can do the alter and add columns. Then how we can add the data into the table. See, I have already added few in the, these are already discussed in my last data analytics SQL warm up batch. But yes, definitely those are already gone through, but it is why I'm giving a little updates on this. Why? Because last time we did this in the Power BI session also. We discussed about insert, we discussed about the update, delete. So those stuff we already discussed. And if you want to see the data, let's do and see the data. Why I'm saying it, please install it and play with this, because this is where you're gonna learn actually. Here is the play, I mean here is the run. If you run it, you'll see the data. See, I have already added in last batch. Even though you can add it in terms of any, let's say I want to add one more. Let's say I'm gonna put it like this, right? 3. Again, I'm gonna put someone's name, let's say Arav. I'm gonna give it Kumar. This is what I'm inserting the data into my table, which I already created, right? I'm gonna put it Canada. Same. I just want to ask you guys here, okay? This is the date. Those are already gone through the SQL. That means, let's say I'm gonna put it like this. 01, 01, 2, 2, 23. Okay. All good. Always put the commit before any insert, delete, and update data. Okay. So once I inserted assumption, okay. What do you think, guys? This will edit, it will insert my data. Anyone wants to answer on this?
It will insert.
It will insert surely.
Yes.
Okay, let's try. Nope, it did not insert it. Can someone tell me what is the issue? Why? See, I'm putting a little you know things, because we in last class we asked you major thing that you gonna see it reading the error. Once you read the error, you guys don't need me, even though you can easily can get the error, and you can, by yourself you can resolve those issues. But why this is not inserting?
Date format.
Correct. Date format. Someone said it, I'm not sure who said it. Ikta or
Me. Me.
Megha. Correct. So what should be the date again?
Year, month, and day.
So month.
No, first maybe year.
Okay.
Yeah. YYM and
Correct.
date.
Correct. Correct.
Right? Yeah.
Correct. You're correct.
Yeah, thank you.
So that is what I want to show you guys. This is, but why? Anyone see this is got updated, and we already have that in place. Anybody wants to say, okay, fine, this is the date which we have it. Can someone say me why? Always think in a such a way why it is not taking. Why it is only taking the Y, and DD. Anybody wanna answer it? Why it is only taking in this format? Anyone? Any answer would be a wrong answer will also be fine. I want you to guys think.
I believe because that's how the date data type works. And when you, let's say, perform further like delimiter after the dash, if you're separating after first dash, you will only get all the years in sort of a way. So maybe because of that,
Little fair
that's how.
enough. Little fair enough. But we can even though change this day, date format, even though we can make it. Yes, we can make it as well. Let's say in real time assumption, I'm gonna ask you in real time. I have created a table, and customer added real time in Amazon. Let's say you working in Amazon, and customer added the date format as, because he ordered some headphones today, and he added the date format. Okay, I order date is something like this. Then this will not be gonna added in my sales or in my purchase order table. Then what should I do it? How can I add this? This is a real problem. Got my question, guys? I want a little pressurized thing. You just have to think why it is, because it is the system date, that is called sys date. You might heard about system date. That means this workbench, which is having the system date as YYYMMDD, right? Let's see. There will be a something called an NLS configuration where you can see here, because we are using this as a here you might not get it as a tools, because but if you find it in real scenario, you're gonna see that in tools here there will be NLS parameter, where you can set your system date, whatever which is you wanna perform it. It should be YYYY, or DD, or as per, as I said, what you want to be your system date should be shown, or it should be work under this table. So you need to let's say it is coming as a 111 1123, then you need to change it your NLS parameter with MMDD MMYYY, then it will take it as, then it will be taken as my 001. This will be my valid, and it will be showing under this. So this is what I want to tell you guys. This is, even though we can change the format with the to date, I'm not gonna go a little detail because it's an advanced SQL. I will gonna perform it. It is under, comes under the 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 data analytics, the actual batch, when you wanna go for the deep learning. you will gonna perform this SQL advanced. So here I'm just giving an example. This function will gonna perform. How it works? If I say there might be a different syntax, even though, but in Oracle it is to date. Even though there is a MySQL, there will be a date. Even though you can use it, here you need to provide the whatever the format you need to do. 0101, let's say, and 2023, and you just have to whatever format you want to do. Let's say I need to, it is under the dd YYYY, and you just have to run it. So this my, it will be comes under my whatever the format I want to convert it. Okay, so here you can do it like this, and also with the multiple functionality that comes under the advanced SQL. So I don't want to confuse you guys with this, but for now just remember we discussed last session with the insert, how we can perform the DML, how we can see those data, and now we're gonna actually dig into our Power BI now, right? Anyone has any questions? We discussed about the installation. We discussed about few things to now. Date formatting, all good. Because we're gonna heading to a Power BI, how we can create the data model. Sorry. Yeah. We talked about primary key. We talked about foreign key, right? Okay. Here, right? Here is the fact, major thing that you're gonna understand, right? In data mart, as I talked about, what are the data marts, right? I'm gonna go over our sheets again. Whatever the reporting that happens, which is majorly in the data marts reporting, that means whatever we're gonna report, we're gonna create the reports, it will be done under the data mart stuff that is called the schema. As we discuss, why I'm pushing it, it will create a schema. If you see, ecom is a database. Under the database you'll see the employee is the table, but before that, under the e-commerce database, there will be another called schema. So you can create your own schema. Let's say I'm creating the sales schema. So it will be like this. Ecom is a database, sales is a database. So what the database which I have, ecom, sales is a schema, and this is the table. So that means what it denotes, this denotes me this employee which under this schema, and this schema is under my this table. Sorry, this database, right? So this is called the data mart, which is called the under the schema. What all are the dims and facts, right? What are the dims which comes under the data mart schema? If I say want to say sales, right? Sales schema. So which comes under my, let's say I'm gonna do a sales report. So I'm gonna create the sales underscore report schema. And under that, you're gonna see what are the dims I need to create. So these are the tables. Let's say I'm gonna create the date underscore dimension. I'm gonna create the purchase order underscore dim. I'm gonna create the invoice underscore dim, and I'm gonna create the delivery underscore dim. Then what are the facts? I'm gonna come with what are the dims and facts. I'm just creating the tables. Sales underscore facts. Then assumption. Let's take the sales and one more. Let's say return. Okay. Now I'll come back to the what are the dims. Dims denotes the attributes. What are the attributes I have in a table? that's calls with the primary key and the foreign key. That means it can have my this. Let me go to the R Power BI. I'll show you what are the DIMs. So if you see territory lookup, right? Territory lookup, which has the prime, which has the attributes. What are the attributes or a columns? It is called the columns equivalence to attributes. That means both are same, attributes equivalent to columns. If you see, these are the columns: continent, country, region, sales territory, right? Those are the my attributes under this territory lookup, which is I have again from which schema I have taken out, which is if I connect it to the databases, which is under my cell schema, which is under my data mart again, right? Which is under my data mart, which is called my dim. Sorry, this is called my territory dim, right? Same way, if you see customer, which is my what are the things I have? Primary key. If you see what are the primary key over here, can anyone tell me that what is the primary key? I hope you guys have gone through this video that we had, and anything you can, I believe I just have to zoom it a little bit. Let me know if you can see the screen properly with the zoom. What is the primary key? These are the DIMs I'm talking. See, territory lookup.
Sales territory.
Yes, sales territory key. If you see, right? Then there is a one more, you know, customer dim that is called, I have named as a lookup. You can name it as anything as you want. You can call it as customer dim. And also, if you see, there is a product. There is a after the product, there is the product subcategory, and there is the product category, right? Those are the my all other dims. If you see calendar lookup, which stores all the date related attributes, and there will be always there will be a primary key. Again, product dimension, it will have a product key and what kind of category name, right? Again, what is the subcategory of this product? So it will have a subcategory. So I want you guys to understand, this is my all about tables, all are my dims, which always has the attributes and associated primary key. Okay. So if you see that, I have, if I, double click here or a single click on this, and if you see the properties, let's see the properties. Okay. If you scroll down, so there will be a key column. If you see, right, key column. So here, if I say I do not select the key column, select the column with the unique value. So what is the unique value? If you see over here, the sales territory. So you need to always provide the prime. First step is to give the primary key for each table. Above our total about tables are our dimension tables. So I'm gonna do, I already given it right now. So what you gonna do it? Just click over here, go to the properties over here and give the key column. In this case, customer has the customer key. Always product will have a product key, right? Same product subcategory will have a subcategory key. And same way you're gonna have the subcategory or a product category key. And same way, anybody wants to say that in calendar lookup, what will be my key? What is the best way to keep the key? See, we are defining it, the key. We are not defining here, even though we can define over here as well. If you see in my employee table, there is a primary key I already given. So let me show you what is the primary key. You put the description, you can put the ecom database, employee, and hit the selected part. See, I already given the primary key. How will gonna give it? It is already like this. Create a table with this. See, column name, data type, constraint name, and what is the primary key I need to put. If you're gonna give that, if you're gonna pull this table into your Power BI over here, it will automatically give you the primary key. But in this our case, we did not, when we get those data from the Excel, we did not had any of the primary key. So now what we are doing it, we are giving it from here, from the property, right? So what we are giving it for a calendar, it will be not to give the key, it always give to the date. If you see, key column is the date. So these are all my dimension. What are the dimensions? With the primary key and always the attributes, right? Same way, we're gonna discuss now with the fact. What are the facts now? Any questions with the dims? Then you can ask. What are the facts now? Right? Whatever the primary key, we're gonna get it from dims. It will be a foreign key over here. Right? That means we are in this case. Let me go ahead and show you the sales data. If you see sales data and the return data, which these two tables are the my fact tables. If you see, right? So what are the things that I have here? If you see customer key, I have. If you see product key, I have. Right? These are the facts I'm talking. If you see, there are another key, that is product key. There is one more key. If you see, that is the territory key. So that means whatever the dims I have, right? I am bringing all the key to the my facts. That means all the key will be in my facts. That will be a consider as a foreign key. That means you can write it like this also. All dims primary key to bring the data from dimension. Right? All good. See, can someone tell me why I needed this keys into my fact? It's very simple. Anybody wanna try why I need these keys?
To make a relation between tables.
Correct. That is a one of the answer, but relation will gonna create it. But why I need? Because once I create a relation, okay, I have created this key, I have already have a key, but why I need it? Anyone? Yes, correct. It will gonna create a relationship. But why? Why I need a relation?
To analyze and get some sort of picture out of it. Like, let's say for certain customer we have sold 10 items and he has returned how many items, then what
Correct,
percentage of item customer is prone to return? To get such data, you need to have a relation between the customer, his return data, and his sales data. So for
correct,
that,
correct. That means this is called whatever the Arav said, right? That is called the measures. So fair enough. All the keys and the measures. That means, as you said, right? Counts of customer. Counts of customer. So it will be a customer ID. Definitely, then customer ID should be included in my fact. So I already have it. No worry. If you see there is a customer ID, see, right? Let's say there is one more measure I need to. That means why I need the measure? Again, always, okay, I need it. Okay, fine. I need to see the data. But why? Why I need to see why I need those data? Why? Because the measure will be created under my this fact, and that can be utilized in my reports. So it will take time, guys. So this is where you can fetch the data from the data model, create a measure and utilize in a such a way that, okay, so you're gonna understand, okay, what you're gonna understand, this is the x-axis, this is the y-axis. I'm gonna show you how you can create it, right? This shows that order quantity measured by the product name. What it says that this product, right, mountain one, which has how much quantity, right? It will gonna show you 26 quantity. See, it is a measure. If you can see that mountain 100, black 38, order quantity is 26. So that means, can someone say that what measure I have done it for this? Without seeing into the measure, can someone say that what measure I have done it? Count of product name. If you see this with the order quantity, how much quantity with the product name. If you see x-axis, there will be a product name, and what are the counts with those with the product name, right? So for that, if you see, I'm gonna come over, jump onto the model, report later on, how we can have that, but just want to give you a little brief why we need the measures, to give a brief understanding. From here anybody can understand, okay, this guy, I mean, let's say, instead of mountain product, let's say there will be a apple product. Let's say this higher one. Let's consider this is a higher one. Let's say iPhone 15 has the maximum sale. That means I can say how much it is, 179, right? That means I can analyze, okay, as per my quarter or last month, these are the sales that happen on Apple. Let's, for a next quarter, let's increase some price. Let's increase, or let's give the minimize, discount, so that all other item we should will also get a little, advantage, where you can put the discount to the others, right? This is how the demand, and this is how the, discount that happens through this while checking these are the reports, understanding. So that's why we need this appropriate measures to visualize the data appropriately and take the better decisions, right? All right. So now I'll jump over to the schemas now. All right. What are the schemas? Fair enough. Here there are the two facts. If you see, the sales facts and the return facts. If you see the sales fact, which has the customer key, because I need to see the customer, what is the customer for those line order items, right? So there will be a order line items for that customer. What is the product that that customer has been ordered, right? And what is the territory, that means where he actually from, whether he's from India, whether he's from USA, or etc. I mean, whether it's from the any of the part of the world, right? So for that I need, those are the only the key. I don't need the attributes, right? I don't want to keep here the product name, right? I can get it from the directly. If I get the product key, definitely there is a relationship. If I get the product key, I'll check that product key into my dimensions, which is here, right? In product, if you see there is a product key, I'll check here. I'll directly, what is the product key? Okay, I'll gonna check it like this. Select star from, let's say, ecom dot product, let's say sales where product key is equals to something like this, 1 2 3 4. Even though we don't have data such like that, it will not give you any answer, but I'm giving, this is how you're gonna search it. This is called the analytics, you're gonna do it. Okay, I want to see, okay, I'll get the product key, but I want to see the product name for this product key. If I have the entity relationship, you can directly get that data from select. Again, what will gonna do it? Instead of select, you can directly do the join. Let's do the join, right? I'm gonna put it, let's something like this. You're gonna put the A. Let's do the inner join. You're gonna put ecom dot product inner join, that means all the common records will be fetched between these two table. Common record, that means all the common. Whatever the common in between these two table, it will fetch and give me the answer. Because it is already present in sales, definitely it will be also be available in my product. So there will be a syntax on a dot, let's say we'll consider as customer key. Cust key, because it's a one to many, or we are taking as a product key as a key, because it's a, what is the primary key for product? It is a product key. Product key is equals to b dot product key on, sorry, where it will gonna have the product key. So we're gonna put the alias name over here also, and here we're gonna see what is the product name I need. So we're gonna get the answer from here. This is how you're gonna perform the select. You're gonna get the answer where which product key, for that we're gonna see the product name. This is exactly you're gonna do it same. If you have a data, exactly, you just run it, you'll get the answer. Right? Now, I'm gonna go over, fair enough, dims and facts, why we need. I'm gonna show you how we can create this relationship, but I need to show you, I'll just want to give you a little more explanation about the yes, this one. Oops. Star and snowflake schemas, right? Star means if you see like this, there will be always be a one single fact. In star schema, always there will be a one single fact, and there will be a multiple dimensions. That means all the dimensions will be connected to my fact, only one fact. So that is called the star schema. If you see star schema as the simplest and most common and the most common model which can be categorized and surrounded by the dimension tables. If you see only one fact and other all are my dimensions. Whereas in Snowflake, there will be a only one fact or a multiple facts, but major why we need the Snowflake, it will be a detail level description. There will be a multiple dimensions. For an example, if you see, right? If you see, let's go to the here or Power BI. Can someone say that I want to minimize a little? Which data model is this? We created this. What data model it, which call it?
Star, because everything is related to the product lookup. You can put product lookup as a center, and all the sales data, the return data is.
Rethink. I want you to rethink again. Why I only said just now there will be a multiple dimensions, right? If you see multiple dimension, that means I need to derive the dimensions data. That means for an example, again, I'll go back to here. If you see I have a product lookup, right? In product lookup, what are the primary key? Product key. And from product key, there will always be a subcategory C. If you see one to many relationship, one to many with what? Product subcategory, right? So that means I want to bring the subcategory. If this is not there, assumption, let's say product subcategory to product category is not there, then there will not be a my snowflake schema. That means we are deriving from the multiple dimensions, right? See, if you want to find out the category, I have to go back and check this sub product category key will be joining or have a relationship between the subcategory, right? Because it is having the entity relationship in the subcategory table, and that subcategory is having the we are fetching the product key. So we can get those data from the multiple dimensions. So this data model is my snowflake schema. If this is not their assumption, if this is not there, then there would be a star schema, because we have only bringing the subcategory. We do not have the category key. We do not have that category, how we can bring those data. So for that, always multiple, most commonly use this one, but I usually prefer in, uh, you know, in many of the industry, as per my experience in the decade from last 10 years in the industry, maximum you will be finding the snowflake. Why? Why? Anybody want to give me an answer? Because see, let's say if I want to see what category of this subcategory product, so I won't be having those data. So it is a loss of data in my data model, right? For that reason, they create, or it usually creates the data model in a such a way that entire information should be available, right? Let's say if I remove this and if I delete this data table, then I won't be missing the category name. If I want to, let's say someone asks me what is the, I want to see in report. If I'll go to the report, I want to see here model, right? I have created the product name. If I want to see what is the category for that product category, I want to see the category name. We cannot get it. Why? Because we do not have this here. We do not have this category name, so we cannot get it. So that's why our data model should be in a such a way designed and developed, so that entire data, once you create it, it is not something like you cannot say to the higher management, or a senior management, that our data model is not suffice to get those data, right? That's what your job is, to get those all the requirements and the matrices to be available in my report, right? Now, all good about star and snowflake. Now we're gonna go over a little how we can create. I'll gonna remove the few of the things. See, now I want to create the entity relationship. See, if you can, let me drop down this down. See, there is a two-way to do it. It depends upon you how you want to do it. Here there is a column that is called manage relationship, right? If you select, see, these are all the relationship I have added. You can add the auto. Please do not do the auto detect. It will, I know it will give you all the, it will analyze by its own. And let's say if you have a here, which we have only 5 tables or 6 tables assumption in data model, there might be a assumption 50 tables, right? If you find auto detect, you might not know what is that table is all about, right? What is the column that is joining for which table. So always do new and create the relationship, or you can directly drag and drop like this. Here, go to the primary key. What is the primary key? Sales key. Direct drag it like this and join it here. See, where is the territory key, right? So you can directly get that. Yeah, Rav.
So in a real life scenario, all this relationship would be defined in the earlier stages by a data scientist, or we have to do that?
No, data scientists will not gonna do it. Data
Okay.
engineers usually do it. That means we are the
Okay.
one. We are the one.
Okay.
Data engineers. There are two ways. See, this is the data engineer, because your role, I want you to get the data engineers roles also open for the data engineers, because it has a very vast knowledge. And also, once you know the data engineering, this is done, man. I mean, uh, honestly, these are all the things is very easy. Once you know that how you can, get those relationship, those stuff. You don't need to depend on the other team that, okay, this I feel though there's some issue with the entity relationship. You can directly ask them, this is what I feel. This relationship is not appropriate. Please change it. You can directly say that, right? So those two jobs that you can be open for in real time, yes, definitely, that is the job of data engineering. But data analytics, as part of data analytics, you should also know about it, what kind of relationship you're gonna do it. But yes, primary, that would be done by the data engineers, right? As I said, you can directly drag and drop. See, here it will be create. As I said, there will be a working, and then you just have to save. Similar way, for which, let me open this. Let me close it. Open this. You can double click on this. It will open the see, added the relationship. If you see the highlighted one, territory key, right? Always it will be a one to many, because always, yes, dimension with the primary key, it is going with the foreign key with my sales, right? So that means it is the one to many. Make it, which is that, assume that what kind of relationship you want, right? So you can say that one to many, okay, and just a cross filter will be a single. If you want, this has to be a both. That means, what do you understand by single and both? That means only one way data will be going. If you see, data is going from territory lookup to sales, right? If you see, these are the datas which are already selected. That means whatever the data which is flowing from the fact will also go to the my territory. So if you see that, these are the joins which I've created, that those are my both way. That means it will flow from territory to sales, also from sales to territory. If you see the next one, let's see, I'll show you the next one. Product lookup and the returns data. That means what it indicates, it will it will indicates this product, what are the products, those are got the return. Yeah, Rav.
Keeping it to both is always a recommended practice, or it depends on what you need?
No, it is not always a recommended. Not always a recommend. That depends on your understanding. Now I'll give you a fair enough an example, right? For an example, I want to see what are the customers. Okay, what are the customers? Just listen what I'm telling you. What are the customers which product got written? I'm gonna write it over here. Customers, products got written. Just say me. I believe you're gonna answer it. Definitely. Customers product got written. Just see this data model. Can we get it if we have a single, let's say we don't have the double, right? For the return, definitely what we need for the from the count of return data. So I'm gonna create the measure, something like this, right? What is the return? That means customer ID I need. Or we can say product key. Let's take the product key. And we need the customer name or a customer key. This is what we need, and customer name assumption. Right? This will give me a fair enough idea. Okay, what is the customer which got the return? Right? Which table I should have to hit it? I have to hit the return data, which is the fact. Right? If you see, this is from, okay, I'm gonna get the product key from the return table. Okay, that's fair enough. But I do not have it the customer related information, which is only having the customer related information in my sales data. If you see customer related data which is in sales, right? I'm gonna do that little wider, little zoom it. Oops, two. So if you see, I do not have connection between sales and return because never ever fact to fact joins. Never ever. We do not joins in between the facts. We always joins between the dimension and the facts. This is how we do it. If we have assumption, if we have the only one flow, right, then we could not find the customer because we don't have the relationship between them, select sales and the returns, right? So how we can get it? So let's say we can say like this. If I say this is the one way, then only I can get the product data, right? Product key. See here, see, if you see that there is a two-way, that means this product key which is flowing again with products dimension, and this product dimension which is connected to my sales. If you see here where it is, product key. See, order date, product key. Yes, here. See, that means if I don't have that two-way relationship, that means flow of data should not be a flow with this two-way both, then I could not get the return. I only get the sales, customer and product. But if I want to find those data from return fact table, then I should have at least this relationship only. This is my understanding. This is how you need to understand as a data analytics, that not always do the both whenever it is required. In this matrix, I need it, right? In this matrix, this is called matrix or a measure. In customer product got written, that means I need the product key, customer key, and the customer. That means I need someone to be interlinked with the my this sales and the returns. How I need to do it? Okay, I have a product key in my returns data, return table. Same, I'll gonna join it with my product key. That means what are the products got written, and same product key I'll gonna join in my another fact. That means two-way I'll gonna get the returns data. Got it, Arav? I believe everyone, even though it's a good question. It's a very good question. So it is not always recommended. That depends on what measures you wanna do it. All right. All right. So I'll gonna go ahead and see any questions, Arav, or shall we go? Because I don't want to put you in a
All good.
confusion mode. All good, great. Yeah. So next we're gonna go see what I was thinking about this joins. Right now, I'm gonna open one of the joins. If you see, there are one dotted lines and there is a one dark line. What are those? I'm gonna open it. Let's open the return data and let's open the relationship. Right? What is this? This is called relationship between the return and the calendar. If you see, return date is my cardinality. That means one to many. All right, I got it. But if you see that in properties, if you select this property, let's select this return and see the property. Make this active, even though you can do this. See, relationship. I'm clicking on this. Okay, it will take some time. See, I'm gonna down it, right? Assumption, right? I want this relationship because why we need this? Anyone wanna answer it? Because in same table, let's say I want to join twice in same table, assumption I want to get the two joinings, then you can make one of the relations should be active or inactive, because you cannot join the same table or a same joining or a two joining with the two tables. That means simple, in simple words, these two join where you just want to have that in your reporting assumption. I don't want this has to be reflected in my reporting. That means I just gonna what I'm gonna do it, make this relationship as a inactive, make this as a inactive. In a similar way, we do it if the real time scenario, if I talk about, we don't do the inactive majorly until or unless there is a cross join. There is a cross join. What do you understand by the cross join? Over here, I'll come back to SQL again. So that's why we need to understand the SQL. Cross join, that means let's say this my table, I'll gonna create, let's create I believe I've created the department. No, there is no department. I need to create it. Just a minute. Please watch out, guys, what I'm writing it. See, I have the 3 records. Now what I'm gonna do? Select start from see, we are getting the 3 records unnecessarily, right? So that is where we need this to understand, and this why we need the cross join. I mean, in case of there might be a real scenario where you might see that okay, I only have the 1 record in my employee table, then why it is going the 3 records, even though I have the primary key in employee, even though it is giving me the 3 records. Why? Because I have the 3 records in my department, which is where it is going to be showing me the duplicates, even though with the employee ID, right? So here it is going with the cross join, and where not to have that effect into my data model, we usually remove that and makes that relationship as a inactive. All right. So this is how we create the actual, you know, the data model, right? Even though you can create the, you know, new measure, even though if you, let's say I want to find out here, I already created a new measure table, right? Here you can create, as I said, new table you can create over here, create a new table. It will ask you. It is hanged, I believe. Here. There might be a hanged little bit. Probably it makes make take some time. Yes, see, table where you can put it your table name, new table. You can create as much as you can create your column. See here, if you put it, why I'm creating this table? See, new table has been created. Inside that, you can create a measures. Same way I have done it over here. Right? See, our table has been created. Same way we have done it for measure. So normally whatever the measures that we're gonna do it, we usually don't need any relationship, because same relation in data model, whatever we are going to create it, it will always use for a only measures, what are the matrices or measures that we want, what are the calculation basically we wanted. So we did it in measure table, if you see. So how we can create the measure? And someone here, if you see how to create the measures, if you see over here, new measures, also from right click, here also you can put it, see new measure, right? Or else in measure table, instead of measure table, let's do it in product. Even though you can do it over here also, product, new measure. Let's do new measure. Create, right click over here, create a new measure. It will pop up a new measure too. Okay, it will give you a little time because it is almost 700 MB Power BI free version, and we loaded a lot of data. That's why it may take some time. And even though we are, you know, working with the video joint, so that's why it may take a little lag. For you guys, it may work a little faster. If you have, if you guys are doing parallelly with me, then it's better. You can work it, you know, very faster than me, even though. Right? See, measure. What I'm gonna type it? I'm gonna type. Let's do. This is what my assumption. What are the types I have? Model name in product table. I have product key. Okay. Product name, product size, product category. So let's say I want to find out the product cost. So I'm gonna say that the total product. I'm giving you the exact name for a better understanding. Sorry, product cost. Right? What is the thing I need to add? I need to sum it, right? I need to do the right logics. I need to perform the logic. What logic I need to perform? We already done through last session. That is called arithmetic logics. That is called sum, right? So we're gonna do the sum for which product price, product price. Close the bracket. So we are good. We will not gonna see this data. See, then the calculator. If you see the actual column, the measure, if you see, it is showing as something called like a calculator. It shows that this is your measure. That means from this, you calculated something and giving you the better answer to for the ready reports, right? So it will take some time for saving it. And once it saves, I believe it's got save, right? We're gonna check what are the things that we have. Let's select on this. Here, see, we have, even though we have lot of things that we can put over, right? Even though if you want to hide, because I don't want to show some of the columns that to be visible in my report view, you can simply write, see here. Oops, now it is going. Okay. Yes, simply you can click table content visible or not. You can select here. That means it can be visible, or even you can, here also there is a property. It is called hidden or not. You can just have to say again if you want, because I don't want to show the product key. I just want to show what are the measures, what are the calculative measures that I have done it. I want that has to be shown to the my senior management, because it will be too much confusion. I don't want key to be shown to the my report view or a dashboard view. because it never gives me any understandings. What gives me understanding? What is the total cost? What is the customer count? What is the how much country the products has been sold? Those gives me a proper understanding about the report, right? Even though, if let me go back now, this is our data model view. Let me go back to the report view. Now we're gonna jump on report view and also the table view. Yeah, Araf.
Sir, in when we are defining the measure, there the last section in square brackets, there is something called model name. What's the model name? Sorry, I missed that.
This one,
Model name would be the name of the column in the measure table, or model name would be same as the column we are uh, performing
product
the
lookup. It is
product
the
lookup.
product lookup column. It is not the measure,
Okay.
right? See, that's what I'm saying. Whatever the measures you're gonna create it, it is be calculative. See my cursor. It will show you like a calculator. Yeah, got it? All good, Araf. So I'll gonna go over.
Yes.
Yeah, gonna go over the table view little bit, because before we go ahead, I want to show you where you can give the currencies, how you can give the currencies, where you can see these are the, let me give you the price. See, price, product price. See, product cost. See, in product cost, there is something which came in. If you see in my column tools, product cost, data type fixed decimal, I have done it, which I am talking about in table view. Here I have given the what, summation. It is a summation, right? For each product. Categorize, if I want to categorize, format, what I want to format it, it should be a currency. So it will be showing me as a currency. See, all the currency will be in the which dollar. If you want to perform in dollar, if you want to do it in rupees, it will give you the rupees also. See, so that formatting also you can do. Indian INR. See, this got converted, right? So those things that have been done and categorized as per the summation. See, if you see, these are the summation that I've got it, right? This is the value for the primary key. This is the logo. If you see logo, which is showing me in the right hand side, which is showing me as a logo, this denotes the primary key. This denotes the what is the format you have done it, right? Let me show you for the calendar, right? Before we go ahead for the reporting, I want to show you something. That's why you're gonna understand why we need. See, in calendar, not calendar, I guess territory. Let me go to the territory. See, territory, if you see region, right? In country, see there is data category. If you see in country column, I selected the country column. There is already categorized. That means it will show you like this country. So you just have to put the country. There will be a logo like this. See, in data model, it will also gonna reflect the same. Same gonna it will gonna reflect it. If you wanna see the territory table in the data model, if you see the same logo, it is going to showing me for a continent. What is the region? What is the for region? We did not have any category, but for country we have it. So those category before we just for a better understanding while looking at to the table, we can easily see okay what are the categories they have done it or what are the categories they have done it. Even though we can create the hierarchy, that means you can create your own hierarchy. Sorry, here you can create the hierarchy. See, what do you understand by the hierarchy? That means it will have my, or let's create one more hierarchy over here. Right click on the hierarchy you wanna do it and create the hierarchy. Same way it will gonna create. I already created it. Same way it will gonna create it. And you can add those whatever the column. See here, hierarchy. It is taking time. All right. See here we have in hierarchy. We have continent, country, and region. Here we have only continent because we click on this right click column and we did the hierarchy. That means this hierarchy is been under this continent. Let's say I want to have this country and region also in my hierarchy too. What we're gonna do it? Simply drag it over here. It is not allowing because we already have it in our hierarchy. But even though you can directly create, it is not allowing because already we added here. That's why, right? So simply you have to do it. You just have to drag like this here. That means here already I have added like this in hierarchy, like this, like this. So automatically your hierarchy will be added. I'm gonna delete this. You just have to what you just have to do. Whatever the continent, that means continents will have a country and also region that these two will be directly drag over to my whatever the create hierarchy you have just created. So these two major thing I want to show you guys. All right, we deleted that. And now we'll go ahead and see how our report would look like, right? So we deleted that. Let's go to the reporting. So we all good. We created the data model. We created the measures as per our assumption that this would be a measure that I would need to show to into my reports, right? Now, how before this, how I can create this, right? Here you can go to the insert. Here there is a new visual, right? Click on new visual. See, one more my visual has been created. Let's see. So these are the charts. This is called my charts. What is charts? This which always shows me x-axis and the y-axis. It will give you a brief enough idea what is the value I should be included in my x-axis and what is should be included in y-axis. Best practices. I'll tell you what are the best practices. Always keep the counts and the sums right in your y-axis, because you cannot have the, because counts will be not more than, it will be a value, right? It will not be like a customer key. It will be have a uniqueness, right? So we don't have to have a y-axis in a such a way that it should be a very much bigger. You should give a proper answer. Okay, it shows me, okay, it's below 50. That it's a fair enough. I can easily understand that. Mountain one, right? It has the model which is less than 50. So this kind of understanding you should have before selecting the visual, before selecting the any of the charts, right? So if you select this visual, create a new visual and create x-axis in the year side and y-axis always the year counts. So now we select the x-axis and the y-axis. Here, if you see, there is one more things if you find over here, right? What we're gonna do, let's drag it. If you can drag even though like this, see, visual, add data, suggest me. See, all the model names has been showing, right? So even though you can select like this, simply, you can select, drag even though, and you can select. Let's do what is the total product cost with the product name. See, total product cost is total is 209. We are just giving, see, this is very, that's why I'm putting a lot of pressure on the data modeling. It is so easy now. Now you can do whatever you can show to the your higher management. This is the cell we are getting it. If you see the products, complete products, this is our cell, right? And if you want to see the product name, what are the model name or a product name? See, we are getting those product names. These are the product names. There will be many. Or a product color. Let's see, I'm adding the data. You can add from here also, like this. Here you can see what are the product colors: black, blue, gray, multi. So it will gonna show you what is the color range, total product cost for what is the color, and what are the model name for that color. See, it will give you an answer, right? Let's remove the product name. See, this is giving me a better answer than the previous. What it shows me, total product cost by the, sorry, total total product cost by the color. That means how much, it is fair enough idea, right? If I want to find out apple, right? Let's say this, let's consider the apple format. If you want to add more visual, you can add it from here, but it's better to have it from here because it has a lot of wide range. See, there are wide range of products that you can add. Let's say add the, add it. Even though you can add this text button. Oops, sorry. Here there is a text button. See, I'm adding the text button again. So what you need to do, you need to drag it over here. See, this is very simple. Why? Because I have created the model and I'm getting all the datas now, which are very appropriate way now. That's why I'm putting a very much pressure on the model. If you this thing you know it, it is you're good. I'm gonna write it. I'm gonna font a little bit to let's say 28. Phone. Mhm. Let's do 36. Color com. Need to drag it a little bit. All right. So what it is showing me, if you see color combination with iPhone, that means how much product cost for each color, right? That means I have a very fair enough idea. Okay, black, which is sold uh, majorly, I can see that because black is majorly cost is going above the product cost is, that means demand is high, right? Oh, sorry. Demand is high for black, right? If you see, that means I've increased the amount for the black. Red, which is a lesser or a 50K, silver, which is lesser than the 50K, and rest, right? There is silver, black, even though, which gives me a very much fair enough idea. Which one should I put the maximum sale, right? I'll put the black iPhone with the 5% of the selling because I know I've created the demand in the market that I'm gonna put the black iPhone color that will be a less discounted, right? Because I want this because it is the highest value, and I know it is, if it is having the maximum cost, that means it is having the demand right now. That means there is a less demand. That means I need to give a little more discounts or to the attract the customers. That's why we need this complete, report. See, this have we just now created. Same way, you guys can also create, or we can do the measure table, right? Here we have a measure table. Right now, we have, you know, pulled the data from this only the one table. We have a proper data model, relationship. We can bring any of the table combination, right? Let's take the customer. Let's take one more visual, right? See, it is not giving me up because keys, never put the keys always. Let's keep have that count. Let's create one more measure. Even though here also you can create a measure. From we did it in data model, even though here also you can create a measure. I am creating total customer count. So what I need to do? Count of customer lookup, count of customer key. Right? See, this is I'm creating it to give a better understanding. Same way, once you play around with the data, definitely you're also gonna create this kind of reports. All right, this one has been created. Let's select this total. See, total count, right? Total count, which is I'm getting it. Instead of year, let's go to the month. See, right? Let's give you a little more visualization. We have taken this, right? Let's have this. Or we can have the pie chart. See, this shows me very much, right? As per the data. See, now what I have done it. Why this one is giving me a very much understanding of percentage. If you see complete blank, that means I have only having the January customer count, February customer count, March, April, May, and June, and rest of all are the. That means I only have 16K or a hardly percentage with the one percentage with the each month. depending upon the data which we have it in calendar lookup or the customer lookup. Why we are getting this data? Can anyone tell me that? Why it is giving me a data? Because we now join, these two table. Why? Because we already created the relationship. If you see, let me go back to the relation, our data model view, right? If you see, customer, right? Customer key, which is flowing with the both the direction. If you see on a data model, if you see my calendar, where is my calendar? Yes, let me bring out over here. See calendar, how it is flowing up. It is flowing in this direction, one to many. That means I can get it from the data, how the data is flowing from month to my sales and sales to my customer key. That means how much customer I have it. That means I have the proper, joining and the model in my data model. That's why it is giving me a two-way one-to-many relationship. That's why I told you, right? Arav, you asked about the why we need the both. So that depends on you in what type of measure you want it. Is it you wanted the two-way flow? Do you want the customer count by month? Do you want the color combination to increase the productivity of the iPhones? Do you want total product cost? So those, whatever the reports you want to create it, apart from that, we usually did. But best practice to have it, keep the both way in your fact. Keep the both way flowing into your fact table. So whenever, let's say, two facts are not joining, that means one of the fact can fetch the data and get you the your required result, right? So this is where how we can create. See, there are a lot of things that you can create. There is line chart. There is line and cluster column. These are the representation. If I tell you, these are the representation. If you want to let's say if I want to add Q&A, right? At the end you can add. Is there any question for this report? For a better understanding, you can put it Q&A and you can ask over here. Any questions or any doubts? So it will give you a proper visualization. Okay, this shows me a complete report. That means from next quarter, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna increase the silver combination price, or I'll give you a 15% down on a silver iPhone. This is where it is much needed for your uh, it your grow to your business, how you can grow your business. Same like how you can get your grow your portfolio for your share markets, right? Same way, this is what they are using it. Same data analytics, this is what they are using in your data model. So that's why it's a very powerful tool to understand and give you the better result to get your maximum profit into the business. All right, I'm gonna stop it here for today. I hope we learned today hands-on today a little bit. I'm gonna give you guys understanding. You can write it over here. Uh, what kind of questions you wanna ask it? Try to add those questions and you can ask to the forum. All right. So I'm gonna conclude for today. Let's move on to the Q&A session. What are the Q&A questions do you have it? Please, I would recommend you guys to at least practice today and have a hands-on. If you guys have opened right now you know your Power BI with you, it's better you guys might have done it parallelly with me. It might have gone through a lot of things. So I'll put you guys for open for any questions for Q&A. Any silly question would be fine.